Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me here in my shop. I think I'm ready to get going on this radio once again after yesterday discovering that one of the trimmer capacitors just wouldn't get into range, so to speak. It just wouldn't quite get to the point where I could see a peak when I adjusted it. Now, this has happened in lots of radios I've worked on. This one's a little more interesting than the others. So I ended the video talking about installing a capacitor. I've installed it, it's right here. And I put a 5 picofarad capacitor in here to replace the one that was in the radio originally, which is not on the schematic, which I now realize almost certainly was installed in the very last stages of this radio coming out of the factory. I'm going to guess that a technician in aligning this radio discovered that for some reason in this particular version of it, this particular unit, the capacitor just wouldn't tune, just like it wouldn't tune for me yesterday. And he added the capacitor, probably a standard procedure. Maybe that capacitor appears in virtually all these radios, but it's not on the schematic. So the trimmer is a 2 to 10 picofarad trimmer. So in order, and it was close to tuning, I think. So in order to bring it into the tuned range, I've added, as I said before, 5 picofarad because it's a 2 to 10. So now it's a 7 to 15 adjustment here. I just realized my clever positioning of the antenna here on top of the radio is going to preclude me from sticking a screwdriver into here. So I got to come up with another clever way of dealing with the well, why don't I just move it off to the side here? Now that would be clever. There. Yeah, so this antenna is not really located in its appropriate spot, not by any means, but it'll do for now. Just sitting up here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Ready to start them up and see what happens. Yeah, I did not test the radio after putting that capacitor in. I waited till now so I could do it on video. You can see a light bulb peeking out right there. Just keep your eye on that. Good. All is operating normally here. So I have my signal generator already going at 1400 kilohertz. Got the output meter ready to go. Let's go full power here. Just double check and make sure I'm on the A band. Yes, indeed. About a little volume. So the signal generator is not connected right now, so we are relying on nothing more than this loop antenna. But the key thing is the oscillator setting. That's what this adjustment's all about. So let's do that. C38, C38, C38. 1400, we're supposed to do this at 155. So let me get the okay, we'll turn this down while I'm fiddling around. So let's check the 0 on the meter, on my paper clip rather. Okay, so parallax is really bad the way I have this set up, so I've got to be pretty careful about it. It's a little off. So I'm zeroing it up on the 0 line there. Trying to make sure my parallax view of things is Okay, that looks good. So we'll go to 155. Okay, we're right on 155. Double checking now and make sure I'm not booging this up right away. 155, C38. Now, we should be hearing this right now, shouldn't we? 1400. One out of here. Maybe, I have a very powerful signal coming out of here right now. But of course I don't have it connected to anything. What do you say we just do the proximity thing here? I'm just going to lay this up in here. We'll see if that's enough. Okay. So there it's tuned to 1345 when it should be 1400. Yeah, I think that's a really good sign, isn't it? Isn't that a good sign? Okay, I got my little screwdriver ready here. Sensitivity check. Nothing. Now, so we want this properly at 155 exactly. It is. We want this 1400 in hand. I'm probably going to step in front of the camera a little bit here, or at least stick my arm out there. So a little bit towards 1400. Okay, let's see if we can find it now. Okay, so this capacitor is cranked down pretty tight. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so this is now set to 14. Happens to be another signal right at that spot. Very good. So go to the other end now and adjust the coil, L17, at 600 hertz. Okay, 600, and that's 33 degrees on the wheel. Okay, get my head down here so there's no parallax. That's about as exactly 33 as I could ever get it. Pretty quiet down there. So we should be hearing this right now at 600 or not. So I still don't have this really directly connected. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're going to turn that L17. Just double checking now. So L17 is this one here. Oh, it just keeps getting louder on its own. So that's L17, so that's 600 where it should be. We'll go back up to the other end and double check and see if we threw it off at 1400. So what I'll do is I'll tune the radio in. It's going to be around 155, and we'll see where it ends up. There's a piece of interference right there. keep my hand grounded. I don't radiate as much stuff. So there we are, and where are we on here? Let's take a look. Well, 153. So we'll put this to 155. Hardly any distance at all. There we are, 155. Turn the capacitor. Bring it in. Bring it home. So, I hardly adjusted it. I'll go back to the other end and double check, but I can't imagine it threw the other end off. 33 was supposed to be the place. Tricky shadow there. 33. 33 should be 600. So 580. Now I did play around with these quite a bit yesterday. So you can hear there's another station here too, it's picking up, or something. $1,400. It's way off. Okay, 155. 155. Is that 1,400? Find her, man. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? 600. $600. 33. $33. Now last time for 1,400. Let's check it out. 1,400. Still a touch low. Okay, 155. I probably could have put a larger capacitor in, but in fact, my choices were limited. So it was either a I'm going to put in a 5 or a 12. I think a 12 would be too big, so that's my choice. Good though. Let's carry on here. Let's carry on. Okay, Great, we made it past that stage. Past that line here in the instructions, I should say. Number 15. 1400 kilocycles. A detector C16. And can you remember where C16 is? C16. Once again, I apologize for the hunting. There it is, C16. This one here. So we go again. 1400. That's where we are. 155. That's where we are. C16. That's what I'm doing. Okay, watching the meter. Let me turn the volume up here a little bit. So I'm doing this right where there's noise, you know. Let's just, we don't have to be dead on this frequency to do this. We have to be just well tuned. Let's go somewhere else here. Here, it's quiet here. It's really quiet right there. Okay, let's go there. Okay, right on. Now we're ready to see if we can get some more out of that. Sensitivity of the tool? Nope. Here we go. Oh, fantastic. That's what we want to see. Beautiful. And now we do the same thing. We go 1500. Then I'm adjusting a capacitor that's right in this loop antenna here and feeding the signal through the air to it, just like I'm doing now, in fact. Okay, so we're going to rearrange this a little bit here. That's me becoming a... See, you too can be an antenna. That's right, you too can be an antenna. You know what you do then? You grab the, well, this is backwards actually, this is the transmitter, but if you go like that and then you point, you can send the signal wherever you want it. You just point where you want it to go. Or you can make a fist and you can use your nose, which I won't demonstrate, and shoot the signal out of your nose. There you are. My sad attempts at humor. It's just, you know what, I find it funny, and guess what? I'm the only guy here I have to entertain, really. And I'm easy, that's for sure. Okay, now I'm totally lost what the heck I'm doing. That's right, we're getting ready to try to loop a signal into this radio here. I'm going to skip the loop part. Maybe. Let's tune it. Let's tune the radio where it's supposed to go. Let me read this very carefully now. 163. Wow, that sounds like almost the end of the run here. I wonder why they picked that. 163. Because the engineers discovered through experimentation in their design shop that this is the best place to do it. They don't even know why. So I keep putting my hand like that because I'm blocking a shadow, which makes the needle look longer when I don't block it. There we are. Okay, 163, that's correct. 163. 1500 now, and 1500. So we'll put this up to 1500. That's not 1500, it's 1498. And I got full blast signal oh, the wire's not up there. That's a little too strong. I don't want it too strong. I want it just strong enough. Now, if I'm going to tune this antenna and it's sitting here, well, it should really be done with the radio back in the cabinet, but we'll do a rough thing. Now, we'll do the roughie. have to move this around too. I wouldn't think it's having any effect. I'll just hold it in my hand here. It's hardly doing anything. I'm just listening for signal to noise with my ears. Right in here. That'd be the adjustment. It was pretty much right on. Now, what we get to do now is we get to try this radio out. Okay, let me just turn this down here. Make sure we got none of that. Now, this is not fully connected, but it should be okay at this point. It's just connected via the audio cable. Just going up the back here. These other wires are still hanging open, but don't think it matters until I go to tune these. So we're just ready to start tuning. See what we got. Okay. I just noticed one of the black molded capacitors, almost all of which I've left in this set, I can see is actually cracked right through the shell. From this angle I can see it, just the way the light is. And that's a pretty accessible one, so I may go after that one. I may go after more of these. Once I'm done the alignment, if things haven't worked out very well. Let's tune this puppy. And let's do something else here too. I'm going to lift the speaker cone a little bit there. It might just sound a wee bit better. Okay, chances are we'll only pick stuff up at the other end of the band anyway. A lot of the noise you hear on the radio here is my computer, by the way. I gave a little test the other day, and sure enough, it seems to be getting quieter and quieter. Somewhere, I'm going to turn the volume up a bit. Somewhere down here, you should start hearing some radio. Come on. Where are you, man? Not a thing. Wow, I'm a little bit surprised here. Okay, could just be antenna direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this radio tuned to 640. My 640. Put this back here. Okay, so we're at 590. 590 works too, actually. Okay, we're right on 590. There's a strong station from Toronto at 590. We should be hearing it. Something doesn't seem right. Now, this antenna is not plugged very deeply into the radio here. what that's doing. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Why no picking up? I don't know. No answer's coming into my head. I mean, logically, if it's receiving 640 or 590 from the signal generator, what more could I do here? Maybe that signal was getting into the radio not through this antenna, but through some other way in. Is that possible? Higher level signal. Doesn't seem very believable. Okay. That's right, I was going for 590, wasn't I? There's a quiet spot here. Not doing anything. What's happening there? What's that all about? No tuning in the antenna. What is that all about? Is that about not having these wires connected? I don't think so. Don't think so. Or have I been making a mistake all this way along? Look up those wires and see what happens. I don't just think until you set this radio into push button mode, those wires don't mean anything. Not only that, but my clever way of labeling them. See, my clever labels, they all fell off. So I don't know again which wire goes where. Right. So what to do? meaning that when the switch is set where it's set, there's no right. Can you finish a statement here, Jim? No, I'm thinking too many things at once. The antenna's still not pushed down all the way. Could I have made a wiring error when I made the attachments here? You know, I can't remember, of course, but I think I was being pretty careful to get that right. Is there some way I can verify that? Wiring. Is there? I don't know. Boy, I'm going to stand here and be quiet for too long a period of time. Why didn't you receive, Mr. Radio? Let's hook him up to the outside antenna. Get one last chance. One more chance, not one last chance. I got more chances up my sleeve here. Let's turn the volume down. That go quiet. So that's 590. We should be getting something right there. Unless I move this.
Oh. I don't think it's a respect thing. I just think a lot of teams are maybe, they saw it in preseason. Like, this is a team that you want to stay out of the box with. But as for the...
It's there. It's hard to believe. Is this thing actually that directional? Oh, my fingers and everything. Yeah. It's me who's directional. This thing just isn't producing. That's what I think's going on here. So I'm just becoming a long wire antenna, jamming a long wire type antenna signal into this loop. The loop itself is not performing. This thing is all riveted closed here. It's all by rivets. So my only hope would be I've done something wrong with these wires. Was there another antenna tuning thing that maybe a combination of that and this? Now, maybe that's a possibility. Should look into that. C2, tuned at 1500. And the only other one is the detector adjustment, which is further into the radio. I don't know. I'm going to have to consider the situation with the antenna there, with the loop antenna. Kind of disappointing a little bit. This really hoped this loop antenna would just work just like my own beloved loop antenna. Just yanks the signals out of the air and shoves them in the radio. Fantastic. And this should really do the same, maybe even better. It's probably better engineered than the crazy thing I use. The only, it's not even a possibility. Perhaps this isn't set all the way down still. Ouch! What did I do? I fooled myself into thinking I'm getting burned. Okay, so that plug just cannot go any further. No, I did get burned. Yeah, burned is right. You know, another thing is I'm doing this in my shop. For all I know, all this metal here is kind of wrecking things. What to try here? So the main thing is the capacitor appears to have no tuning effect on the antenna. And you know what? That antenna has a little capacitor in it. Let me just get the... So this is C2, the adjustable I've been adjusting, that's on the antenna. But deep inside is another one. 68 picofarad resonating or bringing resonance close anyway on this coil here. Maybe that capacitor is shot. If there's no capacitance there, then there's no response here, or the response is way off, somewhere where it shouldn't be. That would destroy the directivity of these antennas. The antenna has to be tuned to become really directional. So I'll bet you that capacitor is shot. Now, what can I do about that? Now, this wire's sticking out here. On the other side goes to this capacity antenna lead. Wait one cotton picking second. Shame on me for saying that again. I shouldn't say that, but I did. I gotta put this radio back in the cabinet, have it hooked up to this capacity antenna lead. Maybe then this whole thing will tune properly. Until then, how much you want to bet if somewhere in the alignment instructions it says align radio with chassis in cabinet? I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, there's a whole bunch of fine print here. Read the fine print. I'm not getting any further here, am I? So, hey, why don't we see if we can pick up some short wave? It's just a band switch away. This radio is really screaming out for a ground. Ground me, please. Oh, I know what awaits me on this radio is putting a string on. Yeah. Okay. So the capacitive wire connection is made here. Let me hook up my own capacitor connection here. Capacitive connection. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's do it. So the wire in the cabinet's about this long. This is crazy. Okay. It's a silly thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I got the string. I've got to tune these guys up. These should probably be tuned in cabinet also. Put the whole thing back into the cabinet, do the whole alignment thing again. Any more component changes under the bottom here? I have that one cracked. There's a whole bunch of those black Yeah, wow, I can't make up my mind about anything, can I? Okay, so I think that's about as far as I'm going to get with the radio today. Tomorrow will be the string. Then after the string comes the buttons. And then after that comes a real good test on this thing, and we'll see back in the cabinet, put it back in the cabinet. Then another alignment check once it's back in the cabinet. And then we'll make a judgment as to whether it's made it or not. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and see you on the next video.